There we go. It's been a phenomenal day. It's full of top tier testimonies from today, right? Woo wee. These superstar leaders have really showed up and they've showed out today. So let's go ahead and end with a bang today, you all, because we have some heavy hitters for you all this evening. Now, I am truly inspired and I am fired all the way up for what is about to come for all of us who are following these ladies lead, okay? Now, I couldn't be any more honored to have the distinct privilege to bring on this bad mama jamma. Y'all, she personally asked me to host tonight, and I swear I said yes before I even finished reading the message, okay? That's how serious it is because her support is like none other, okay? So I need you all to understand who is about to blow the roof off this thing right now. This boss is one of the top 10 income earners in our company. She's a founding director and proudly wears that presidential diamond bling bling ring, okay? And within our company, you all, that is proof that she earns a minimum of $500,000 residually in a 12-month calendar year. She is leading the charge with a team of well over 16,000 agents, stateside and internationally, who all love and respect her, keeping it real style of leadership skills. So she is what we call a 6-star director in our company, and she loves to help other people succeed. She's calling in from H-Town, Texas. Throw some flames in the chat, you all. 2022 MVP, founding director, 6-star director, JP Watkins. Mutes, the mic is yours, Miss Ma'ams.
Give it up for Tina De Los Santos. This young lady, I just had to invite her on with this group of champions because you guys can tell Tina's energy is infectious. She is not only beautiful outside, but she is more beautiful inside. And I have to brag about her because she is a veteran. Somebody put in the chat, thank you for your service. She is an active duty, excuse me, not that, she is active duty military. This young lady serves in our U.S. Air Force, where she served for over a decade. And I'm so proud of her because she has done combat, law enforcement, and HR. So she's just a woman who is just business oriented. But over here, she wears a hat of DIT. She's on her director run, and she does that all while being a wife and a mom. So Tina, you just make it look easy. We know it's not easy to wear all the hats that you wear, but you do it with grace, poise, style, and beauty. Thank you for hosting today. And guys, she talked a lot about my accolades. You may have heard the glory, and it sounds good, but you don't know the story. So let me talk about the story real quick because 10 years ago was very different. 10 years ago, I was fired from my corporate job. I did what I was told to do. I should not have been in ruins. And so when you go to school, get your education, get your degree, you think you're doing the right thing because your parents told you to do that. And I have the student loans to prove it. Okay. But in 20 years of corporate America as a corporate marketing director, I was a manager. I did all those things. I still was not free. And so I want you guys to know on the Zoom today that I walked into work April 4th of 2014, and I was not free. I was fired. So I want you guys to know that I lost my job. And how many of you have lost your job before? The UK says made redundant. Anybody ever lost your job? Put in the chat, I have. And so I found myself at 40 trying to figure it out. And so sometimes we think we should have it all figured out at 25, 30, 40, 45, 50. And then we go, okay, I still don't have it figured out. But guys, I want you to know that many times we don't understand God's plan. But when you're down to nothing, that's when God is up to something. And this hit my desk. And it wasn't packaged the way I thought. Travel and network marketing. Those are two things that I didn't understand. Believe it or not, some of you are already qualified because y'all are unpaid travel agents. Y'all do it anyway. Y'all the person who books everybody's trips for free, or either you the turn up crew. And I was neither. I wasn't booking anybody's travel. I was not the turn up crew. So I did not think I qualified. But Mr. Donald Bradley is my mentor, my coach. He's the CEO of this company. I met him in 2015. He said, if you follow my leadership, I'll help you make more money than you've ever made. And so I said, okay, show me. So I'm going to tell you today, if you're on this Zoom today, if you follow our leadership, you will make more money than you have ever made in your life. Now, do you have to bring a little work ethic, grind, grit, focus? Yeah, you got to bring a little something to the table. But I didn't even have a blueprint because here I was clocking in, clocking out. And after 20 years of commitment, I was broke. But I decided to build my empire in 2015, a decade ago. And so somebody put in the chat, build your empire. Build your empire. Because that's what we're here for today, is to talk about the new year and how is it going to be a new you? Because the same thing gets you the same thing. In 2015, I decided to change it up. I had already been working, and Mr. Bradley began to share with me, you can't work enough hours to get yourself rich. It's only 24 hours in the day. There's only so many hours you can work. But if we build our empire, J. Paul Getty said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And so today, guys, we're going to show you how you can make money and save money on the hottest, sexiest industry in the world. And guess what it cost me? Brunch money. No, I didn't say lunch money. I said brunch money. Because in Houston, we brunch. I know that now people are brunching in Atlanta, people are brunching in Dallas, people are brunching in Chicago. We spent about $200 on brunch in Houston every Sunday. And that's what the investment is. It's a $200 investment that pays me up to unlimited income. And guys, it just was life-changing. And all Mr. Bradley told me to do is help people, help a lot of people. And so that's what we began to do. I began to share with people how they could make money and save money on travel. They didn't have to go to Expedia, Travelocity, Cheap Tickets, cheap.com. They could go to them.com, me.com, you.com, and we could get the check. I started doing that 10 years ago. And as Tina shared, this young lady so graciously shared, this company is now paying me, this will be my first $1 million year. My first year in the company, I did 6 figures. My second year, third year, I did $250,000. I went on to do $500,000 for many years, and this will be my $1 million year. And I'm telling you that because this is brunch money. Brunch money, $60 a month to maintain $1 million opportunity. And all you got to do is help people. Somebody put in the chat, help people. That's all you got to do is help people. And I'm so proud because today I've interviewed a lot of the champions that I've been able to impact their lives and help. And tonight, as we end this Zoom presentation to kick off the new year, I get a chance to interview another champion. And all 3 of these ladies, I watched their applications hit the system, just like some of you today. Those of you that are getting started today, I watched their application hit the system. And this young lady is so special because she said, hey, can we go out to eat? I don't know why magic happens in my business at Papa Do's. I don't know why magic, because that's where me and Brandy were. Me and LaVonda were at Papa Do's. She said, let's go eat. And she said, I just want to pick your brain. She's so intelligent. And so we talked over gumbo and conversation. And I remember her getting the blueprint, and she wanted to get the foundation, but it's not a one size fits all. The good thing is you can be a male or female, young or old. You can be black, white, brown, green. This formula, you can get foundational things, but you can add your sauce. And so she took some foundational information from me of how to build a business. But what she was able to add was the fact that she's younger, and she also has innovational skills in terms of online marketing and utilizing the internet. So what I love about this business is she made it her own. And she was able to now, I guess it was a couple of months into the business. She did not expect it, but she got a call and they called her into the office. She was fired from her oil and gas job. Was she expecting it? No. I tell people all the time, build your ark while the sun is shining. Don't wait until the rain falls, hit the panic button. So she was already in the business, helping people travel. She loved to travel. She looks real good in the bikini. She was doing it. But she did not realize that she would need to replace her corporate income. So when she got the call that she was fired, she did not cry. She didn't become unglued. Her husband was like, "Why are you so calm?" And she was like, "Well, my Planet Marketing business paid me today." And she has not missed a check since. She is the mom of three beautiful children. She was able to homeschool her kids. Her kids are in athletics. She's able to attend all their games, competitions. She's able to be a present wife, a present mom. And that's one of the things that I think many of us struggle with is we want that freedom, we want that finance, but sometimes it causes us to be absent, from the lives of people we love. And so this business gave her not only financial freedom, but time freedom. Anybody want some time freedom? And because she had heard my story of replacing my corporate income, you know what, guys, she took it to another level. She's a top 50 income earner out of 122,000 at $250,000, but this will be her $500,000 year. This will be her $500,000 year. So she's a 4-star director on her 5-star run. Please give it up for none other than the travel queen, LaVonda Thornton-Bush.
Wow, coach. Oh, I'm like, wait, is she still talking about me? I am so grateful to be on here and to have been on this journey and literally watched you grow, but not do it by yourself, by bringing us up along with you. And I'm incredibly grateful. I'm excited. You got that $500,000 ring. That means that you can show me how to get it. And that's why I am here. And I'm fired up as well. And so I so appreciate you for this opportunity.
My goodness, it has been, a decade that we have been free. And we call ourselves corporate rejects because we were fired. We have been certifiably unemployable for a decade. And people made us think that we were bums for not having jobs. People made us feel like we were losers, we were bums, that we were second-rate citizens because it was like ingrained in our brain. Go to school, get a job, go to school, get a job. And if you don't have a job, you're a bum. Like nobody said, number one, entrepreneurship was on the table. And definitely not network marketing because that's a scheme, a scam, and that's so how did you shift your mind? What was the light bulb moment, Director Thornton-Bush, that you realized I can get flat out wealthy and I'm going to do just that?
Absolutely. So I was actually born into entrepreneurship.
Oh,
Both of my parents were entrepreneurs, but they did it wrong. And I will always tell them because sometimes you can own a business, but you literally own a job. And I watched both of my parents own businesses they couldn't take a break from, they couldn't vacation from. If they didn't touch their product, if they didn't touch the service, they didn't make any income. So I saw both sides of it. I saw the inconsistency of a career that I was proud of that paid me 6 figures, where I had the company car, the company credit cards, the company experiences. I rode in private jets with my boss. I sat with billionaires and they still could decide to take money away from my family. And then I saw when my dad would get sick and he lost his business. I saw my mom, she didn't have a client, she didn't make money. So when I was introduced to network marketing and I heard your story, I'm like, wait a minute, there's another opportunity because no one had ever taught me leverage. Everyone had taught me to work hard, not smart. People didn't talk about residual income, but we would talk about the struggle to pay residual bills. So I knew that there was a better way and I was just ready to get there. And so network marketing to me was the only thing that made sense because the masses wasn't doing it. And they say anything that the masses are doing, you need to go find out where the small percentage are, right? So billionaires, multimillionaires, you taught us that 80% of women that earn six figures do so in network marketing. And I was able to create a six-figure income a year and a half after losing my corporate job. So I knew I was never going back to corporate America.
But you know what? You embraced it so quickly and you did it unapologetically. And people always talk about me being unapologetic because I remember my first couple of years in network marketing feeling like, okay, I'm not good enough because, you know, people look down on our industry. They don't celebrate. If you say, I got a raise on my job, it could have been $1 and you will get 1,000 likes on social media. It could be 50 cents and everybody, but if you say, I got a business, it's a home-based business, crickets. Nobody's liking it, nobody's loving it, nobody's on the bandwagon, but you embraced that and you began to really educate people. You actually branded yourself the travel queen. You went on social media loud, not quietly, loud, and let people know, no, you think this is a scam? No, let me show you the corporate scam. Like you did not let the doubters, the naysayers, anybody intimidate you. I want you to talk about that boat. Where did you get that? Is that just something you were born with? Or did you know that the product and the company were solid? Which one was it?
It definitely wasn't. I've always been bold enough to stay to my truth. But in all the years that I worked a corporate job, I never talked about making money for somebody else's business online. So it was something that I was bold enough and proud enough to speak of, but it was truly because of leaders such as yourself that was already getting the documentation. And I'm never intimidated by other people's leadership. I'm inspired by it. And so I was seeing your success like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. But then I also put myself in other people's shoes. Were anybody on here, you ever been praying for something? You didn't know what that something was. You didn't know what it was going to look like. And so I start being loud about it because I'm like, there's somebody out there that was like me, looking for an opportunity to make money. And it may not be in a job ad, right? It's something that's not going to look like they're familiar with. And then I'm like, well, why not? Because if people can be online talking about Beyonce and celebrities and purses and shoes and cars and, you know, just gossip and politics and all the things that's not going to make them money, why not have some money making conversations on social media and attract the people who think like we think? And that has been truly the secret to the success. And, you know, people are going to judge you no matter what. So I used to be a little fluffy, you know, had a little cushion for the pushing. I heard that song at Brandy concert, right? And so I was like, truly, this was a dark side for me where I was on my way to a size 18, right? And so I remember family members talking about my weight gain. So then I decided I'm gonna stop eating meat. I'm exercising, I'm losing weight. So I went from a size 16 and a half to a size 4. Then everybody started talking about me being too skinny. You're too small, you're too little. Are you all right? Are you sick? So then I said, you know what? No matter what I do, somebody's going to have something to say anyway. So I might as well live life for me on my own terms. And so I did the same thing in this business. In the business, if I worked for somebody else, I worked too much. What you doing? You need to slow down, right? When I worked the job. In this business, same thing. So I'm like, I got to do me. And that's what this opportunity has allowed for me to do.
I love it. Do you? Somebody put in the chat, do you? Because so many people will misunderstand your journey, you know, and the money that we're able to make in this business, if you look at your oil and gas industry, it's attractive, but people don't realize the time you give up, the hours what you give up to work in oil and gas for it to be a high turnover. There are people getting hired and fired every day in that industry that is very volatile. So a lot of people are afraid to bet on them. Congratulations, Miss LaVonda, for betting on you and truly embracing entrepreneurship because you decided to take it to the next level. Not only did you learn how to build relationships? I saw you tell one of your best friends, who is our Iron Man of the Year, Brandon Grace. He was one of the first people to take a position in your organization. So I saw you talk to your warm market. So let's not get it twisted. You did talk to your warm market first, but then I also saw you dominate the space of online marketing and the internet. So talk about that, because you went from Facebook to YouTube. Now you're on TikTok. How can people, number one, help the people that they know? But not only that, there's a whole world out there that people say, well, my friends, and I don't know nobody. Wait a minute, there's a whole world out there, Director Bush. Talk about that.
Yep. So I was not a sorority girl. I didn't have a big circle, not even an extrovert. So I knew that I needed to talk to my closest friends and family. I wanted them to tell me no, so that they would have the burden of not getting started with me, and I wouldn't carry the burden of not sharing it with them. So I find that a lot of people don't share things with their closest friends and family because they're in their emotions. So for me, I'm like, listen, this is what I'm going to do. This is the opportunity I see. And I hadn't even made any money yet. But I'm like, if y'all know what I have been able to do working for billionaires in the oil industry, you got to know I'm going to be successful doing this. And so some people said yes, some people said no, some people still watching. And so it was quickly that I realized that I wasn't about to get rich with just my friends and family. I said, there are some people out there, and I want to run this like a business. And so I started thinking about McDonald's didn't build a business to make money off their friends and family. Apple didn't build a business just to make money off of or with their friends and family. So why should I build a business in that way? And so I thought about social media, where that wasn't even a platform that I was on, but I went on YouTube and I'm like, how do people make money on Facebook? How do people make money on Instagram, on TikTok? How do I get people to find me? Now, the benefit is that we're not selling a product where we have to convince people travel was already beneficial. So I learned speaking skills from you, presenting skills from you, and I decided that I was going to be everywhere. And if I saw a mom, if I saw, a corporate professional, if I saw people talking about looking for an opportunity to do more in their life, I would reach out to them. I didn't wait. And to this day, I don't wait for everybody to just reach out to me. But definitely being out there talking about the largest industry in the world is attractive. And so people on social media all day, all they're doing is scrolling. I need them to find me. And that's exactly what I thought about. So years later, I've had some people to sit here and watch me lose my job, not ever have to go back to work, retire my husband early from his job, us travel as a family with butler service, okay, baby girl sitting in first class, just living the life of our dreams. And now they're like, wow, you've been able to maintain this because, Coach, I never worked a job longer than 4 years. The longest job I actually had was like 4.5 years, but I'll be celebrating 10 years in this business. So a lot of times people are looking for something lucrative and stable, and this is it.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a decade together. And that is so, I was talking to Walter and Tiffany Powell yesterday, and I said, 10 years. You and I said 10, we looked at each other like all of us were saying, we were like 10 years and we're just getting started. 10 years, it's been no drama. 10 years, it's been smooth sailing. 10 years, we've never missed a check.
Ever.
And so I love it because what this company has, Mr. Bradley put together, Andy Cofton, Leanne Treckler as his leadership team. We're now in 20 countries. And I know your business is all over the world, all over the United States of America. And we were able to make money and save money on travel. You've empowered thousands of travel agents, all over the world. But talk about the money a little bit, because you do know the space of oil and gas. But talk about the money here, because you can make money and save money on travel, but you also have brought into the company 500 frontline of your own. Many people join you and you don't even know that they joined because you have such a presence on the internet. There are people who join you daily, you don't even know, but you have a team well over 2,500 families, approaching 3,000 families. So let's talk a little bit about the money because it is lucrative.
Yeah, y'all, let's make money smart. Like, so I'm not a salesy salesperson. And someone asked, like, how could I be the number one recruiter and I'm not a salesy salesperson? It's because I picked the industry that I don't have to beg or convince people. Yesterday, I welcomed a business partner, another business partner in Trinidad, and I've never even traveled to Trinidad. Right? I have not visited that Caribbean island. I have people that are in cities and states and countries like Guam that I've never visited. And so when we talk about money, y'all, travel generates over $9 trillion a year with or without us. Now, I was one of those people that booked travel and never used a travel agent. So I understood that if somebody is getting paid off the work that I'm doing, it might as well be me. But then I got super smart about how our company pay. So last year I earned $70,000 from travel I did not book.
Wow.
So this year my goal is to earn 6 figures passively from travel that I don't book. Now, how is that even possible? Well, in our industry, the suppliers and the industry train our travel agents. Now, people are paid in real estate, brokers are paid, in the healthcare medical field, recruiters are paid to put people in careers. And here, Planet Marketing pays us to empower agents so that IntelliTravel will take that number one spot as a host agency. And we're almost there, y'all. We sold almost $2 billion in travel just last year alone. And so what I get excited about, 8 streams of income. Right? The income where I have a lady on my team, coach, and you probably have beat me up for this because I know you better know people's carpets. But literally, I have a lady right here in Houston. She's been on my team for over 7 years. We've never met.
She may not want to meet us. She just I'm going to put it on her. I'm not going to put it on you.
Don't put it right. So she's an older lady. She's actually getting ready for retirement. She's in her 60s. Okay. We make money together every month. We've been making money together for 7 years, never met each other. And she now has 6 agents and she's seeing the power in bringing others on. So what I love about this business is, like you said, I found a way to do it my way. And that's just my way. Like if y'all want to meet up, we're accessible. But when we're talking about the income, guys, think about companies like Fashion Nova, Shein. I'm thinking about Nike, think about Michael Kors, Louis Vuitton. All these companies get paid from our marketing. So when we travel as travelers, we tell people what plane we're on. Coach, we talk about our resort, the cruise line, and people do that for fun and for free. We found a way to turn it into income. And when you talk about never missing a check, I've never missed a week of pay since joining this business November 2015. Guys, my residual income has increased every month since 2015. So a lot of times this year, people are looking to earn new money for old bills. Well, our old money is paying our old bills. And I love that. So we can create new income for the new things we want. We can save more, we can do more. And it's just a total mindset shift.
I love it. I love it. And most people, stop learning. Not only are we taught, go to school, get an education, get a degree, and get a job. Most of us stop learning in elementary school, high school, or college. That's the end of our learning experience. And in that whole experience, many of us were never taught financial freedom. Nobody ever said, here's the blueprint to how to earn 6 figures from home on the side. 6 figures by day and 6 figures by night is the new flex, right? So this is not quit your job day. It's how do you make 6 figures on the side when and if your boss quits you or you quit them, you got a cushion. Every year that money is continuing to grow and generate. So the education, I want to talk about that because we had to reactivate our learning muscle. And our mentor and coach had us reading books like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, my first year in network marketing, Go Pro. Like we read the books on becoming a network marketing professional. And then you took it a step further and taught yourself some skills that you tried to teach your coach. And I put you out of my house because LaVonda tried to teach me editing, video recording, and it was like this whole thing, y'all. I said, girl, because I said, LaVonda, teach me some of this. Teach me. And I made omelets for us. We had mimosas, everything. By the time she started breaking down the technical part of what she does, not only is she beautiful inside and out, she is intellectual. And there is a side to building online in terms of video and editing and, you know, email campaigns and automation that people don't understand. That takes learning as well. So talk about the learning side. You've been certified for different, you know, Disney certifications and princess. I mean, the education is vast. And guess what? You do not have student loans. So when you pop up at $500,000 this year, you've done all this education for free.
Ooh, this is so powerful. Y'all, she really did. She's like, just stop. Just stop. I don't want to learn this. I thought I did. I don't. I'm sorry I brought you over here for this, but we need to talk about something different. I never seen her stressed out. I was like, I got you. Just but I wanted my business to run when I wasn't running. And I knew that with my children being young, I needed to have time with them, but I didn't want to sacrifice my money. So I wanted to have a business where if someone was interested, they could go to a link, learn exactly how you taught us. It's a presentation, except it's recorded. They can make a decision, you know. Those things are on YouTube. And all I did was just really learn how to build my own website, how to present, how to focus my camera, you know, how to decorate my office so it looks attractive, how to take pictures when I'm traveling, you know, those types of things. But when we talk about the education, y'all, as a travel business owner, I'm going to tell y'all the secret. These suppliers like working with team builders because they have access to multiple agents. So sometimes people get in this business and they'll say things like, well, I don't want to build a team. Well, you're missing out because the industry appreciates team builders now. Now, if we were having this conversation 20 years ago, before IntelliTravel totally revolutionized the travel industry, that may not have been the case. But now there's a greater appreciation for network marketers, travel influencers, social media influencers. And so we are teaching those strategies. It's important, right? I have had BDMs from suppliers refer other travel agents from other host agencies to sign up with me because they see the consistency in the business. They see the professionalism. So now, y'all, how hard is it to learn about a beach? That's not hard. So you might have dreaded logging into an online class when you were learning English and science. But our science includes mixology of margaritas and cocktails. That's our science. How many ice cubes to add, right? How hot is the sand before you get to the ocean waves? Like, that's our type of science and technology. So I love the fact that the business is fun and it's truly adult recess. You know, Mr. Bradley says it all the time. We have the sexiest, most profitable industry. We sell adult recess, and it's true. So one of my business partners, we decided on a Sunday to go to Cancun on a Tuesday last minute. As travel professionals, we sent emails to about 5 resorts, told them we were travel agents, gave them our credentials, told them we just wanted to come for a day and take some content. And we chose the resort we wanted. Y'all, they put us up in an adults only 5-star all-inclusive resort. We had butler service. We had a plunge pool. We had room service. And coach, we ordered about 15 different plates and went to sleep. But we did it because we could, you know what I'm saying? We had a private margarita mixology class. And while we were in Cancun shooting content, people were signing up with us without having to be convinced or sold. So this is a product that sells itself, and we are on the money-making side of it. So for those of you that you don't know how much money you're going to make this year, because you don't even know if your job is going to keep you through the end of the year. Some people will do a performance evaluation and pay raise 2 years ago and you haven't gotten it. See, the job that laid me off, they fired me, I believe, because I said, hey, it's been 2 years since I had a raise. They was like, oh, we got a raise for you, all right. And I got fired. But imagine being able to give yourself a pay raise in a business that you appreciate you, right? Where the business just makes sense. So a lot of people work this on a part-time basis. Why? Because it's travel, coach. We're on our phones. I remember when I first got in this business, how addictive it was. I would be in bed with the covers over my head on my phone, learning about Jamaica. And my husband like, what you got going on over there? Like, that's the kind of fun and excitement that we have in this business.
I love it. I love it. And I know it's really exhilarating to learn. It's like we activate that educational muscle and we want to just take it in. I love sitting up under the leadership of Mr. Donald Bradley, who he was on the IMB today, which was such a treat. But to listen to people who have our solution and not our problem. Sometimes we get out into the world and we become adults, we start adulting, and everybody seems to be tired and broken tired. Like nobody's talking about, oh, I'm energized like Tina. Oh, I'm excited to be on a beach. Nobody's talking, everybody is broke, tired, broke, swapping broke stories. And so I love that we are in an environment that really thrives on growth, progress, and positivity. So that's something that's a perk and a benefit as well. But I want to just talk a little bit about the time freedom, because we talked about the money freedom. For brunch money, for a $200 investment, we're talking about you have the opportunity to make unlimited income in the travel space or the building space. But what I love is that the time. I wake up on a Monday and it's just like a Wednesday. I don't have to say, thank God it's Friday, because I'm like, thank God it's Tuesday. I don't know what day it is. People be like, oh, we got a 3-day weekend. And I'm like, but I own my time. Every day, every second, every minute, I get to choose where I want to be. I don't have any place to be that I don't want to be. I don't have a boss. And so people say, well, what's the downside? Everything y'all said sound good. Everything y'all said sound good. Tell me the truth. Give me the real. What's the downside? And I say, we don't have no boss. And they be like, well, I thought you said that was a plus. Not for everybody. For some people, that is horrible. Because there's a group of people that they so, institutionalized that the bell rang for elementary school, get to class. The bell rang for middle school. The bell rang for high school. In college, they take enroll. At their job, HR gonna contact you if you're 1 minute late. And so some of us have always had somebody watching us. Some of us have always had to check in. We've never had free reign of our time. And instead of embracing it, some people say the industry of network marketing doesn't work, but no, you didn't work. That's what it was. It was you. It wasn't that this didn't work. You didn't have any discipline with the gift of time freedom. So for me, I think that that's the greatest gift. Yes, is the money good? It's awesome. But to be able, for Thanksgiving, my husband, his disc ruptured in the L4, L5. His back went out. He was on the floor. And he called me and William, because we were actually moving my mom that day. We were at Wingstop because we was tired. He called me, come home. I came home. We're headed to the ER. They said you have to have emergency surgery. And I was in the hospital for 1 full week, but we were there 2 weeks total. I was there 1 full week. I didn't have to call in to anybody. I didn't have to request off. I didn't have to do none of that. And you know, LaVonda, that in 2022, 23, my dad was sick. I lost him October of 2023. And that whole time he was sick, I didn't have to call in. I know last year you just lost your dad, and we talked about that. You've been able to be by your dad's side, homeschool your kids, be at every game and tournament. Talk about the time freedom that we enjoy, which sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad.
Time takes money. In order for you to have time, you got to buy it back. And a lot of times people don't have time because they can't afford it. They got to use the time they have to make money. So when you make money in a smart way, you don't miss out on the things that's important. So my oldest son played Division I college football. He was a starting cornerback for Rice University. And I'm the mama that don't want to watch on TV. I need to be there. Almost getting kicked off the field, y'all. So I'm that mama, okay? And so, you know, if I didn't have the time freedom, what boss would allow me to be at every game every week and they're traveling all over the country? You know, I think about how my daughter, she's a competitive cheerleader, and there are some moms that they have to send their children to travel with other families because they can't afford to take off from work. They can afford their kids to play the sport, but they can't afford to travel. What good is that, right? In 2020, the day after Kobe Bryant passed away, my 24-year-old nephew passed away suddenly. My brother worked a job, his mom worked a job. So I was the one with the time freedom to be able to plan my nephew's funeral, to be able to put his obituary together, the presentation together, and to really pull the family together. And that's when I really start realizing time freedom isn't just about fun. When I got a call that my dad's heart stopped, my brother had to explain to his boss why he needed to come to Houston. My other brother had to explain to his boss why he needed to leave work early. And all I did was change my direction in my car from one way to the other. And I was able to be there with my dad unapologetically. So when we talk about real time freedom, y'all, yes, it's time we want to have fun, but we have to think about those of us that have aging parents, that have children, that have grandchildren, that have things where, you know, I was able to grieve. Truly, my nephew was total shock, 2 months of grief. Like I was just in a total state of shock, but my money never stopped. And all I thought about is that my brother only had 5 days of bereavement after losing his only son. And he had to go back to work. Otherwise, his income that took care of his household was going to stop. So, Coach, when we talk about, you know, time freedom, it's bigger. And the wild thing when people say what this industry doesn't work is almost everybody on here have a story like that. Stay true if that's you. You've had a story. You've had a story where you had to, you know, go to the aid of a sick child, or you yourself may have had an ailment, your car break down. You had something where life happened where you didn't expect it, and you wish you didn't have to ask another man or woman to take care of your business, right? And when I was freed from corporate America, I said I would never allow anybody else to be able to control my time or my money. And that's what this business and this opportunity has allowed for me to achieve real time freedom and financial freedom.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels so good. Because let me tell you something, peace is priceless. There is no price on peace of mind when you don't have to call nobody and you can go where you want to go, when you want to go, and be with whoever you want to be with. It feels good. And you know what, Director Bush, sometimes I don't want to be bothered. Sometimes my time freedom means I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to talk to me. Me, huh? Be quiet. Okay, we don't want to talk to nobody. So that's what time freedom is all about, money freedom. And in closing, we're walking into 2025 with a plan, with a purpose and a plan. Somebody put in the chat, purpose and plan. You know, many people say, Happy New Year. Okay, well, why is it so happy? What you got going on that you didn't have in 2024? If nothing changes, nothing changes. We have a purpose and a plan. This year, you will realize you're $500,000. This year, your team will grow to well over 4,000 families. You know, this is the year that we get a chance to be more impactful. And so, you know, again, we're talking about a $200 investment, $60 a month to operate and build our empire in the hottest, sexiest industry in the world. And a lot of people say, hey, I need more information. Great. Get started, because when you open your back office, it's all the training and information. It's copious amounts of information. We're a paperless, business. So everything is, when you open up your back office for brunch money, that's when you start your learning process. And you got 30 days, to decide if it's for you. Go back there, test drive this thing. But Director Bush, what would be your closing thoughts? Because I know for 2025, you got big dreams, big vision. You're going to help a lot of people. For the people on the line today, what would be your closing thoughts for those individuals to get out and get started?
Listen, you gave us 20 points, and I'm calling those 20 points of freedom. I just actually got chills saying that. 20 things that you said leave behind in 2024. And one of the biggest takeaways was fear. I'm looking for fearless individuals, because the things we haven't been afraid of are the things that have been holding us back. And I tell people all the time, if you can work a job, AKA someone else's business, you can build your own. So in 2025, I'm looking for more of those individuals that are just flat out fearless. You also said leave casual behind in 2024. Too many people are okay talking about the struggle is real, life is lifing, woe is me, there's never enough. When it's raining, it's pouring. Y'all probably heard it or said it yourselves, but at some point you have to say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's time to do something new to get something new. And unfortunately, many people are attached to people that can't lead you further than where they are. So it's going to take you doing something new with new people to really build a new life. And that is so important. The other thing truly is leaving mediocrity behind. At some point, we got to get tired of saying, I'm accepting what's given to me and create. So when we're talking about building an empire, that's from ground up. So when we touched on education, I didn't know about stinking thinking. I didn't know that millionaires have income for decades. That means they have 10 years worth of income in a savings account, where when people are celebrating, I'm a millionaire, they're not talking about they've earned $1 million. They're really talking about millions of dollars in assets and in savings. So we're now talking about elevating our mindset, our income, our lifestyle, and we're building a family legacy here. This will be the best $200 you have ever invested. And sometimes people are looking for us to convince you we can't do it. You have to get started. You have to see it yourself. You have to have boots on the ground. So just to make it real for some of you employee mindset people, because I had to do it for me, because I was that employee, was always so good on a job. Anybody like that? And I was so good, I got to train other people on the job. That's how good I was. And my check looked the same, coach. But, I was so fired up when it was time to interview with a stranger. I was so excited for the income they said they were going to pay me. I was always ready to see how much vacation time they said I deserved to have. And if I didn't use it, I would lose it. But they kept me so busy, I could never use it, right? Then I think about, all the things that I was passed over. I was smarter than the bosses that made more money than me, and I could do nothing about it. So many of you are in positions where you finally have the opportunity to hire you. You get to decide your schedule. You get to decide how much you vacation. You get to decide how much and how often you are paid. This is that thing. And if you overthink it, you'll miss it. So I'm so grateful for you, because you've allowed for me to spread my wings and do things my way. But I also appreciate the foundation you set and helped me understand this industry that is very similar to what we did in corporate, except there was no freedom. There was no stability. And I would not be on my way to $500,000 working on somebody else's job. So with that, y'all, it's early. We decided to do this in the beginning of 2025. People wish they did more in 2024. Remember that? But it's time to thrive in 2025. And you got to make that decision, not now, but right now. Back to you, Coach.
Oh, girl, now you got me in my Patti LaBelle. I'm just going to we're going to spread our wings, honey, like Patty. Now I'm ready to spread them. Because you out here soaring, eagle. How many of you know that this is an eagle? You are eagle. You are eagle. Here, I'm gonna do my Oprah. You're an eagle. And we're eagles in a chicken coop. In a chicken coop. That's what happens when we limit our income, when we limit our time freedom, when we limit ourselves. Guys, there's some chickens, but you ain't one of them because you on this Zoom today. So get out the chicken coop, get out the mediocrity, get out the casual living, and soar with the egos today. Director Bush, you said spread your wings. That's what we're going to do. And we want to encourage you to get back with the person who invited you to this Zoom today. Spread your wings and get started. There is absolutely no better time than the present because it is indeed a gift. So thank you for being on, Director Bush. You bad to the bone. Love you, girl. And everybody have an amazing 2025. We'll see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.